Talk to Andrew Morton, talk to Tom Bauer. All of these people that have written books about her have been like, it's a struggle to get to the truth of who this female was before she meets Prince Harry, because she's reinvented herself so many times throughout the last 44 years. 20 years ago, that woman would not be able to marry a working member of the British royal family, even though she's an actress, even though she's playing a role. That is just beneath the British royal family.
If public drama was a competitive sport, Meghan would probably have a whole shelf stacked with trophies by now. Just when royal headlines start cooling down, her name suddenly jumps right back into the spotlight like a phone notification you forgot to silence. And this week, the situation exploded again.
You say that Prince Andrew told Harry he was making the biggest mistake ever, and that Harry later tells Prince William in reaction to all of this that he hated Prince Andrew.
Reports say she's seriously upset after royal biographer Andrew Lownie pulled her name into a controversy she claims she had absolutely nothing to do with. Here's the wild part, though. He wasn't even writing about her in the first place. His book focuses on the complicated situation around another royal figure. But somehow, Meghan's name drifted into the story like unexpected baggage nobody asked for. Now her team is reportedly moving fast, pushing statements and trying to shut down speculation before the rumor machine spins out of control. You'd think after years of interviews, documentaries, projects, and endless headlines, this kind of moment would feel routine. But insiders say this one lands differently. Why? Because the narrative isn't coming from her own circle this time. It's coming from someone the royal establishment actually listens to.
I've never seen someone so desperate to tell us about herself pull back so much, be so bizarrely private.
Now the tension is rising and the spotlight is blazing hotter than ever. Meghan didn't start this storm, but stopping it might be a whole different challenge. And the real surprise might not even be what the author wrote. It's what her reaction could reveal about how delicate her carefully rebuilt public image might actually be.
You're only putting out all this PR shit to boost your public image. Meghan, f*** off.
This whole situation isn't about direct accusations or hard proof. It's about perception, it's about connections, and why certain names keep popping up whenever influence networks around royalty start getting examined closely. Nobody really saw this twist coming. It all started with a quiet book release. No flashy marketing, no viral interviews, just a historian dropping information with serious weight behind it. But within hours, gossip channels lit up everywhere. The reason? Meghan's name appeared in a section nobody expected, tucked inside a deep dive into royal power circles connected to another figure.
Yes, no, and she's amazingly successful in the way that she's wormed her way in. And as you say, we don't know the full story. I mean, there are clearly lots of rumors, and people have tried to link it to Andrew. I found no evidence to support.
Prince Andrew also tells Prince Harry, I think that Meghan Markle is too old for you.
But apparently for me, that doesn't matter.
Yes.
I feel like some of those comments really stung Meghan specifically.
Oh my gosh, what is this life? I would have never predicted.
And Andrew Lownie isn't some random commentator chasing internet clicks. He's known for digging deep, way deeper than most reporters ever bother to go. Andrew Lownie has built a reputation by searching through dusty archives, private letters, and old documents that rarely see daylight, the kind of material that can quietly shake up royal history. His book, The Rise and Fall of the House of York, was supposed to focus on the unraveling of one royal branch after years of controversy and public scrutiny. That was the real topic. But instead, the internet latched onto something completely different, and things spiraled fast. The second readers spotted Meghan's name inside the pages. Social media lit up instantly like someone had uncovered hidden treasure. Blogs, TikTok commentators, and royal watcher accounts all started asking the exact same question. Why is her name even here?
I hope the authorities will actually pursue some of these investigations. They will bring charges. And I think if they do so, there's a very good chance that both he and Sarah Ferguson may well go to prison.
Wow, that's a revelation.
Just like that, the focus jumped away from the book's original subject and snapped straight onto her supposed connection. That's how fast narratives flip online. One small mention, and boom. The entire storyline spins in a new direction overnight. Now here's the part that makes this situation especially interesting. The author never accused Meghan of anything. Not once. But in today's attention economy, facts tend to move a lot slower than reactions. Her name alone was enough to spark speculation everywhere. What the book was actually examining was how influence moves inside elite circles. Who knows who shows up at certain events and whose name appears on exclusive guest lists. It was about proximity, not blame. But the moment her name entered that environment, nuance didn't stand a chance. Headlines started popping up everywhere. Opinions formed overnight, and the rumor mills started spinning again at full speed. Before long, the conversation quietly shifted away from long-standing royal controversies and landed squarely on Meghan's frustration instead. And that shift, that's where things start getting really surprising. Because to understand why her name appeared in this situation at all, you have to look closely at the royal figure who has been surrounded by controversy for years. That other royal figure has slowly turned into one of the monarchy's biggest public headaches over the years. Once surrounded by status, respect, and a carefully protected image, that shield eventually cracked. The reputation that used to keep criticism far away suddenly wasn't working anymore. And that loss of protection is exactly what Andrew Lownie wanted to explore in his research. His book isn't built on gossip or wild rumors. It focuses on patterns, showing how certain names, events, and social connections keep crossing paths again and again inside elite royal circles.
Seems fired up about is this incident where he allegedly punches Prince Andrew at a family gathering because he overhears something Prince Andrew said behind his back. This is unrelated to Meghan Markle, and I think that I've seen that get mixed up a couple of times.
Yes, it has. That's one of the problems. That people have confused the two dates.
According to his research, these circles operate like a quiet but powerful network. Reputation works almost like currency, and silence often acts like insurance. The same names appear at private gatherings, charity events, and exclusive guest lists. Over time, those overlapping connections start to look like a glitch that just won't disappear. Inside that complicated web, Meghan's name shows up, but not as someone involved in anything controversial. Instead, it appears more like coincidence. Someone who simply existed in the same broader social universe at certain moments. But the second that proximity became public knowledge, the internet reacted the way it always does. Speculation spread fast and headlines followed right behind. Suddenly, people online started throwing around dramatic phrases like hidden ties and secret meetings, even though nothing had actually been confirmed. That's the reality of online attention. Patience moves slow, but theories move fast. And placing Meghan's name next to a royal figure already surrounded by controversy, that's instant digital fireworks. The author's real focus was tracing the slow decline of one royal reputation, but the internet flipped the entire storyline. Instead of discussing the original subject, the conversation suddenly shifted toward the supposed frustration of a duchess. And if that network already sounds complicated, things get even more chaotic when you look at how one completely unverified rumor from Toronto somehow grew into its own dramatic subplot. Here comes the Toronto rumor, the internet's favorite side story. According to online chatter, long before Meghan ever entered royal life, she supposedly crossed paths with that same royal figure while living in Canada.
Really tried to distance myself from all of it.
Wow.
And that has challenges too. It does. You know, I'm oblivious to a lot of things,
Woof.
but that allows me to live my life really authentically, make choices authentically.
Back in 2013, she was filming Suits in Toronto, building her lifestyle brand, sharing inspiration online, and focusing heavily on her career. At that exact same time, that royal figure was also traveling internationally for official appearances. Then somewhere along the way, someone online decided the two of them must have met. No proof, no photos, not even a blurry background sighting, just pure internet imagination running wild. But that tiny assumption was all it took. Critics and supporters jumped in immediately, turning the idea into a full-blown saga. Suddenly, social media detectives were connecting dots like they were cracking some secret spy case. One dinner here, one event there, and boom. According to the internet, a secret meeting had magically appeared. The problem? None of it was actually confirmed. Meanwhile, Meghan stayed completely silent about the chatter. And oddly enough, that silence only made the noise louder. Because online, when someone doesn't respond, people instantly assume there must be something hidden, even when there's nothing there at all. The wild part is that the theories kept getting bigger and more dramatic without any real evidence. That's the strange reality surrounding her name. She doesn't even have to say or do anything, and the drama still finds its way back like a magnet snapping into place. And if the Toronto rumor already sounds messy, the next chapter gets even more intense once her name starts popping up inside New York's social scene.
has all pretty much the same friends that Eugenie and Beatrice had. And in 2017, Fergie gave an interview after Meghan Markle got married and everything, welcoming them into the family. And she said that she had never met Meghan Markle until the...
After Canada, Meghan stepped into the Manhattan spotlight. Upscale parties, fashion events, charity galas, and exclusive rooftop dinners. Suddenly, she seemed to be everywhere. Cameras were flashing constantly, and every time photographers showed up, she had that perfectly timed, caught-off-guard look that somehow still appeared completely camera-ready. People moving in those circles even joked about it. Some said she wasn't just networking. She was carefully building visibility, almost like someone positioning herself for opportunities that hadn't even appeared yet. One minute she'd be chatting with insiders from the fashion world, and the next she'd be standing within reach of elite social circles that overlapped with royal connections. She was always just one photograph away from a headline. Say whatever you want about it, but she clearly understood angles, camera angles and career angles. And honestly, New York seemed to love the whole spectacle. She stepped straight into that world, Hollywood glamour mixed with high society fantasy. Velvet ropes, exclusive guest lists, private lounges, and somehow she moved through it all like she had always belonged there. Some tabloids called it pure charm. Online critics called it calculated. Either way, one thing was clear. She kept building connections everywhere she went. It almost looked like someone carefully collecting rare designer pieces. Every introduction, every invitation, every new contact added to a bigger picture she seemed to be shaping step by step. That's when the whispers started getting louder. People began saying things like, "She's climbing, she's aiming higher," and even joking, "She's already practicing her royal wave." Maybe they were half kidding, but only a few years later, she went from rooftop parties in Manhattan to palace gates in London. That kind of transformation doesn't happen every day, but here's the interesting part. The New York crowd never forgets. The same social circles that watched her rise through events and private gatherings are now the ones sharing stories about how everything unfolded behind the scenes. And whenever the conversation turns to how she moved from exclusive club circles to royal-level introductions, one particular name keeps popping up again and again.
Global membership ambassador for Soho House, because he's very tight with Eugenie in New York. He's very influential. He's the best friend of Meghan Markle. He goes with her everywhere.
Because behind most big social leaps, there's usually someone opening doors. And that's where the story starts getting complicated. In almost every major social scene, there's always that one person who seems connected to everyone. The friend who somehow appears at the right dinner, the right after-party, and the right event photo every single time. For Meghan, many people point to Marcus Anderson. He's known as a well-connected figure with serious access to elite guest lists. His relationships stretched across entertainment, fashion, hospitality, and international social circles. Marcus built a reputation for making introductions happen fast, almost effortlessly. And Meghan seemed to understand exactly how to take advantage of opportunities when they suddenly appeared. Events that once seemed out of reach quickly became regular invitations. Charity galas, private brunches, exclusive London gatherings. Some people described it as friendship, others called it high-level networking. Whatever label you give it, the connections kept growing. The results became pretty obvious. Doors started opening, and she walked straight through them with confidence. To the public, she looked like an actress sharing lifestyle posts, inspirational quotes, and polished photos online. But behind the scenes, something bigger seemed to be taking shape. Step by step, a carefully crafted public image was coming together. The pictures looked effortless, relaxed smiles, casual moments, glamorous events. But the overall trajectory didn't look random at all. And Marcus Anderson wasn't exactly invisible during that time either. He often appeared at the same events, standing nearby, laughing with her, talking closely. If Meghan was the headline in those social scenes, Marcus looked like the connection line quietly running underneath it all. So when people started asking who helped introduce her into those influential circles, his name kept resurfacing again and again. Coincidence? Or simply strong social connections? Most people agree Meghan has always projected warmth and charm, but there also seemed to be a clear sense of intention behind many of her moves. Strategy wrapped neatly inside a bright smile.
Ferguson attended Tom Inskip's wedding in Jamaica in 2017. Meghan Markle was flown in private plane, allegedly belonging to Rob Burkle. Harry flew economy plus from the United Kingdom to Jamaica. And Fergie, Eugenie, and allegedly Andrew were at that.
And that strategy was about to lead into a completely new chapter, one that takes the story straight to a tropical destination where quiet whispers suddenly exploded into full-blown gossip. Jamaica, 2017. Bright sun, flowing drinks, luxury scenery, and a rumour mill spinning faster than a blender full of frozen cocktails. The event itself was supposed to be a relaxed destination wedding. But the moment Meghan Markle arrived, the atmosphere shifted fast. Suddenly it felt less like a quiet ceremony and more like the Meghan Spotlight, tropical edition. For a moment, people online almost forgot the wedding itself, because cameras and attention seemed to follow Meghan everywhere around the resort. She walked in with confident energy, dressed in a perfectly coordinated outfit, posing naturally whenever photographers appeared nearby. Guests later joked that she moved through the resort like someone completely comfortable in the spotlight. Some even teased that she looked more like the star attraction of the location than just another guest at the celebration. A few playful comments even suggested she looked like someone rehearsing for a very different kind of aisle someday, the kind surrounded by royal crests, and maybe even a few corgis. Then came the spicier rumours. Whispers started floating around online that a certain controversial royal figure might have also been somewhere nearby during that same time. There was never any proof of that claim, but that small rumour was all the internet needed. Suddenly, the beach wedding was being talked about online, like some unexpected crossover storyline nobody saw coming. While official channels stayed completely quiet, Meghan's name suddenly shot right back up the trending lists. And it wasn't just because of her outfits this time, it was because of the company people online claimed she might have been around. You almost have to admire the timing, though. Meghan seems to have a talent for turning even a simple vacation into a global headline faster than most influencers can launch a new brand. Drama tends to follow her like a shadow wearing sunscreen. And just when it feels like the gossip wave might finally settle down, a brand new rumour from somewhere across the world pulls her name straight back into the spotlight again. Fast forward to 2021, a chaotic year for the entire world. Yet somehow Meghan was trending all over again. This time it wasn't because of an interview, a streaming deal, or another discussion about palace life. Nope. The internet suddenly became obsessed with courtroom rumours. Online chatter started claiming that she might somehow get pulled into legal proceedings connected to another controversial royal figure. Within hours, social media turned into something that looked like Royal Law and Order VIP edition. According to online speculation, Meghan was supposedly close to being called for a deposition. And of course the internet exploded. Memes appeared everywhere. Long opinion threads popped up overnight. People started predicting what would happen if she ever took the stand. Some even joked that the courtroom might turn into the most dramatic performance of her career. But here's the twist. None of it actually happened. There were no subpoenas, no testimony, not even a glitchy Zoom hearing with terrible lighting. Just a massive wave of online rumours spinning in every direction. And Meghan? She stayed completely silent. No public denials. No clarifications. Not even a casual comment from a friend or insider.
Andrew told in your book, you talk about how Prince Andrew told Prince Harry his marriage to Meghan Markle would not last more than a month and accused him of being bonkers for not doing his due diligence into her past.
There's nothing defamatory about it. That was the one point where people were sort of cheering him on.
Exactly.
Just total silence. And in the world of celebrity gossip, silence works like gasoline on a fire. The less someone says, the louder the speculation grows. Her PR team was probably scrambling to keep up with the narrative swings. One minute, people online believed she might be dragged into court. The next minute, she was back posting about mindfulness, wellness routines, and scented candles. That kind of pivot happens fast. But if you thought the courtroom rumors were the peak of the chaos, think again. Because what happened next? Once YouTubers, self-proclaimed insiders, and social media commentators grabbed the story, turned the entire situation into a full-blown viral frenzy. And just when it seemed like the storm might finally calm down, the social media whirlwind kicked into an even wilder gear. Every tiny detail suddenly mattered. A smile in a photo, a quick handshake caught on camera. Even something as simple as a rooftop dinner started turning into fuel for endless speculation. At that point, Meghan's life wasn't just generating headlines anymore. It was becoming a non-stop online narrative. Every move she made, every event she attended started getting analysed like pieces on a giant chessboard. Millions of people were watching, commenting, and trying to figure out what every appearance meant. After the courtroom rumours faded away, the gossip engines were hungry for new material, and Meghan's public appearances gave them exactly that. From Fashion Week after parties to high-profile charity galas, she kept showing up in places where cameras were already waiting. And the moment those photos appeared online, the theories began again. People weren't just watching her. They were trying to decode her social strategy. Which guest list would she appear on next? Who was she standing beside? What did that conversation mean? The speculation spread fast, and it didn't stop with the people in her immediate circle either. Every name she was photographed with suddenly became part of a brand new storyline ready to explode across social media. But Meghan's approach stayed the same. Masterful silence. Instead of responding to rumours directly, she simply let the chatter grow louder on its own, and the internet happily filled in the gaps. Online detectives worked overtime, building timelines, debating possible connections, and wondering how she went from a television actress to an international headline magnate in such a short time. The more people talked, the more attention grew. And in today's world, attention is power. Meanwhile, people who had been around during her rise, friends, acquaintances, and social insiders, occasionally dropped small hints or funny anecdotes. Nothing confirmed, nothing dramatic, just enough to keep curiosity alive. Every toast at an event, every candid smile, every arm-in-arm photo slowly became part of an unofficial storyline that the internet couldn't stop watching. At a certain point, the conversation stopped being about facts. It became about proximity, perception, and pure momentum. And here's the real twist. Despite all that attention, Meghan wasn't running toward the chaos. She didn't have to.
Bauer talks about in his book 2017, Harry violently angry over catching paparazzi in Jamaica, trying to capture him and Meghan Markle at a friend's wedding.
The drama seemed to follow her naturally, like a magnet pulling in speculation from every direction. A simple trip, a casual outing, even a charity event could suddenly transform into a worldwide headline overnight. And through all of it, she maintained a carefully crafted public image. Calm, polished, and always just slightly ahead of whatever narrative was forming online. That control made it nearly impossible for gossip to fully define her story. By 2022, the pattern was impossible to ignore. From Toronto to New York, from tropical weddings to elite charity galas, every appearance seemed to add another piece to the larger story surrounding her rise. The world kept watching. People analysed, theorised, and speculated, even during moments when there was actually nothing concrete happening at all. That's the strange power of presence, strategy, and timing all working together. Meghan didn't just move through headlines, she reshaped them. Every rumour, every whisper, every viral moment somehow became another chapter in a story that always circled back to her. Even when the internet believed it was controlling the narrative, she often seemed one step ahead. So after all the headlines, the drama, and the endless insider whispers, what's the real story? Honestly, Meghan Markle might just be sitting somewhere in her California home, sipping green juice, scrolling through the internet chaos and thinking, why can't the internet just quit me? But let's be real for a second. She clearly understands the spotlight. If she truly wanted to disappear from the headlines, there probably wouldn't be this much material floating around every year. Instead, she appears to have mastered something close to controlled chaos. Just when people start to forget about her, something new pops up. A podcast episode here, a new project announcement there, maybe even a thoughtful interview about growth, reflection, or healing. It almost runs like clockwork. She re-enters the conversation again and again, always slightly ahead of the public reaction. In many ways, she's become the queen of the comeback narrative. But this time, the reaction from the public isn't just admiration or curiosity anymore. It's something far more complicated. Now the reactions look different. Instead of quiet whispers, it's eye rolls, memes, and spicy hot takes flying across every platform. And strangely enough, that kind of attention seems to work perfectly in her favor. Meghan doesn't really fight the rumors anymore. The noise just keeps growing around her.
royal family protecting Meghan, whether she wants to admit it or not. Is the royals actually protecting Prince Andrew potentially? Because they're so afraid if they blow up these Meghan Markle bullying allegations that it will inspire other people who worked under Andrew to come out and be like, well, wait until you hear about what I had to deal with.
Exactly. Yeah, no. I mean, the Legion, the complaints about him, he doesn't seem to treat staff in the same way as they're not really proper people.
Love her or criticize her, one thing is obvious. She understands the power of attention. In today's media world, attention often travels faster than approval. The more people debate her online, the bigger the conversation becomes. It's almost like controversy itself has turned into a form of currency. And honestly, you have to admit, that takes a certain level of media skill. Handling this level of public scrutiny isn't easy. It requires thick skin, careful strategy, and a serious amount of main character energy wherever you go. Maybe that's her real crown. Not the royal tiara she left behind, but the one built from hashtags, headlines, and bright Hollywood lights. Because when it comes to Meghan, the drama rarely disappears. It just refreshes like a trending page every 24 hours. From Toronto to Montecito, from quiet brunch conversations to loud party chatter. Her name keeps spinning through the news cycle faster than a Palace fan on full blast. And if you think that's already wild, the internet managed to take things even further. Remember the moment a comedy show roasted her live on national television? That clip exploded online. The reactions were immediate. Shade, sarcasm, and endless memes spreading everywhere. Social media was buzzing with commentary while people debated the joke from every possible angle. One short moment turned into a massive viral wave, the kind that had commentators talking for days. That's the kind of unpredictable spotlight Meghan seems to attract. Moments that become unintentionally iconic, dramatic, and impossible for the internet to ignore. Whether it's a tropical wedding, a high-profile gala, or a viral comedy moment, the pattern stays the same. Somehow, the story keeps circling back to her. And that might be the real secret. No one generates conversation quite like Meghan Markle. Every trend, every rumor, every viral clip adds another layer to the larger narrative surrounding her public life. Attention isn't just a side effect anymore. It's part of the entire spotlight. And in the non-stop game of headlines, she isn't just part of the conversation. She's often right at the center of it. Now we want to hear from you. What do you think about this whole situation? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this topic definitely has people divided. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who loves following royal drama and celebrity stories.